Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone, Punjabi Cyclist here. Lovely. आज सुबह सुबह मैं साइकिलिंग करने आया, मैं दोस्त के चल दिए, that was lovely. फिर मैं राज गया, then there was a London marathon going on and then I had to detour मैं late हो गया, मैं लंदन पे जो. Then the next thing happens before me getting to the London marathon, Acton जाके I had my puncture, the front tyre puncture. मैं चलो कोई नहीं है रहा, it's lovely. Put it on the side, change the front tyre, change the puncture, lovely. Off I go again. मैं ठीक है जाओ, let's keep going. Almost got to close to my friend's house and then एक और पंचर, rear tyre दा पंचर हो गया. मैं चलो हवा निकल गई है, pump it up. Then I went off again for 30 seconds, then it wouldn't go. So then I walked from there to my mate's, it wasn't far. So I thought let's just walk with my cleats on, mountain bike cleats, okay, not the road cycling cleats. Otherwise I'll be walking like a Dakar walk कर रहा हूँ नहीं. Normal walking all the way मैं चलो चलिए. Then I thought might as well show you guys how to change an inner tube. So while I'm doing it, everyone can see for their benefit as well as my benefit on how I change an inner tube. So we make sure we have the right tools before we start to take the wheel off and change the inner tube. Okay, let's get to it now. All you need is tyre levers, inner tube, and you need a pump. So those three things you must have before you take your wheel off. Before you take the rear wheel off, you need to make sure you're on the hardest gear in the lowest sprocket at the front. The lowest sprocket there. After that you need to pull the through axle out. Okay, lovely, there's the rear wheel off. Just make sure the cassette doesn't come out, otherwise that's another headache to deal with. What we're going to do now is take the thing off, make sure we deflate all the air out of the inner tube. It's completely gone now, so that's fine. Now it's completely, all the hawa nikal gaya dejo. Now after this you need to make sure you unscrew this bolt here, which is holding the inner tube onto the wheel. So that's done. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure the tyre comes off the rim, and because that's the first important thing from both sides, and we need to quickly have a scan. So there we go, there, pull that out, make sure it's off the rim. So this makes it easier to pull the tyre levers in. Oh, now we're done. Okay, great. Here are the gaps on both sides of the rims. I'm taking the wheel off now, just using the tyre lever to help with getting it off, and now using my lovely hands. So now this is what you need. This is how the tyre looks off one of the rims. Don't take it fully off, otherwise it's a mission putting it back on. Okay, now we're going to try to pull the inner tube out. There we go. I mean, these tyres are pretty tough because they're tubeless ready. Okay, now we're taking it out from there and just pull it all out. Lovely. Next thing what you need to do is run your hands along the tyre just to check if there's anything, any thorn or any glass, anything that's going to cause another puncture before you put another inner tube in. Just need to run my hands just to make sure there's nothing here, and we are clear. We checked the tyre, there's no thorns on the tyre, so I thought let's give it a check on the inner tube. So here's the little hole on the inner tube. This inner tube, I got it from Halfords. It was about £4. It's the butyl one. So it's the 700C 25mm tyres that I have. So these are the ones I'm using. So if you have 28 or 32, then you need to get those accordingly based on what your tyre width is. Next step is going to be, we're going to put some air in the inner tube to give it its shape before we insert it into the tyre. It needs a couple of pumps and then we got it in the right shape. So what I do, I line up the tyre make close to where the inner valve is going to go, so it's easy to spot it when you need to pump up the tyre. Just makes it easier. We have the inner tube inside on the wheel rim. We're going to deflate the inner tube a bit so it can go inside a bit more, get the hawa out. So the hawa nikal gaya hona. So now we're going to pull the bead back in off the tyre like so. Okay, so now this is the hard bit. You need to run through, have a quick scan just to make sure the bead is not pinching the inner tube, otherwise that means you'll get another puncture pretty quickly. Oh, that was a mission. Bada mushkil is in a tire charna because this is a tubeless tire, and they already tubeless tires are built for sealant and to be airtight. And it was a mission to get this inner tube in, but I finally managed it. Meri bus hoyi hai, main bhukh lagi hai hun. Now we're going to inflate the tire. So de-inflating, because as these are tubeless tires, can't put more than 75 psi. Finally, the inner tube is changed, the wheel is back on, and I'm done. So that's lovely. See you guys on the next video.